so happy to see this. I'm so happy to be here. Lee and I are so excited to touch down into our old Kentucky home.
The Mark Pope era has arrived in Lexington, home of the greatest tradition in the history of college basketball. This is a special Sunday edition of BBN Tonight. He's Keith Farmer. I'm Maggie Davis. We are live on the floor of Rupp Arena, getting everybody out there set for the official introduction of Mark Pope.
Yeah.
The new head coach of the UK basketball program.
Right, so you saw him touching down.
Yes.
You saw the excitement from him and his family, but there is nothing like the excitement going on right now here in Rupp Arena. I mean, I feel like we're at a game. We're getting ready for the Wildcats to run out and take the floor. They just
I'm
did a
waiting for
cheer,
tip-off.
right? We've
Yeah.
heard. There's so many fans here to welcome Mark Pope in as the new head coach of the UK basketball team.
So we are just about 15 minutes away now from the official introduction of Mark Pope. We know his family is in town. We know several of his former teammates are here in Rupp Arena as well. And I'm sure we're going to have the chance to talk with so many of them over the course of the next several hours. But for now, we're just here to get everybody at home as excited as the people in this building are right now. Obviously, you saw the plane video. You saw how excited Mark Pope's family was. But fans who were tracking that plane coming in and wanting to be there when their new coach arrived, well, we were also able to talk with some of those people at the airport who were just hoping for a glimpse of their new head basketball coach. Some of them drove from hours away just to be there for this moment.
I think he totally embodies what UK fans want to be and want to see, and we just want to unite and just be supportive.
We're really excited about Mark Pope. I think he's going to bring a lot of X's and O's offense, high motion offense, a lot of three-point shooting in the UK, which we've been missing the past decade.
He knows it. He's been there. He's got it in his blood and roots, and I think, yes, I think we will be right back where we belong.
Who knows, but I'm looking forward to it.
Mark Pope has spent a lot of time on this floor as a player, as a former player. But Keith, I think when he comes out for the first time as head coach and this place goes nuts, can you imagine the goosebumps he'll be feeling in that moment?
I'm not sure he can do anything wrong today, but if he doesn't rip his suit off and have his jersey on, I'm going to be so disappointed. I want to see that, right?
Right?
And the cat chant. Yeah, exactly right. Well, fans that are in here now were lined up early today. I'm talking about noon. Thankfully, a beautiful day to stand out in line outside. We talked to some of them who are excited to show Coach Pope that he has Big Blue Nation's full support.
Oh, I'm very excited. This is not something I would miss if at all possible to get here. So we traveled here from Maysville.
I go way back. I saw the whole 96 season, traveled with him, went to the national championship, and I know that Coach Pope's heart is here. And I am excited about it. I think he will do a really good job.
I believe Pope is going to do the job. He's going to do the program justice, and I have hope in Pope.
All right, so you saw that line. You saw all the fans out there. But what was exciting was we started seeing pictures come out on X or Twitter, and you saw Pope get out of the vehicle and go hug up with some of the fans and take pictures. He is already embracing this fan base and loves what he's seeing out here.
I love seeing that, because to get out of a car like that in front of all of those people and just want to embrace it is something I think his fan base is absolutely going to adore. We know Mark Pope is certainly going to be bringing the energy today. You can probably feel it in this building right now. He's going to be walking into this insane environment. But we actually already had the chance to meet Coach Pope. He's in the building, coming out in just about 10 minutes. But we had an exclusive interview with him already. Keith, you had the chance to sit down with him. That full interview will be coming your way Monday evening on our normal edition of BBN Tonight. But for now, here's a short preview.
It feels like a dream. It feels like a dream because this is a place I love. This is a place that changed my life forever. It's a place where I got to battle with some of my best friends in the whole world and be welcomed and loved and become family with this incredible fan base. And it has always been the best job in the world to me and everybody else in the basketball world. And everybody's always known that the opportunity came, I would walk across the country to get here, and I'm super humble about this and super excited about it and can't wait to get going.
Well, I'm glad that Mitch brought a plane to get you.
It would have taken longer. This interview might have taken place like a week from now.
You just had a group of fans lined around this building, and you jumped out to get among them.
Yeah.
What was that like?
So here's the thing. I learned this early on when I was here at Kentucky. This is Kentucky's team. This is not my team. It's not even our players' team. This is Kentucky's team. And so, like, this is us. It's not me or we. It's us. And so, you know, we're driving by, and there's people standing out there in line, standing out in the sun, and like, that's our people. And so it's I love it. I love it that this community cares this much, because I care this much, and our players care this much, and the fact that we get to share that together is different than any other college program in the country.
He is definitely going to win over this crowd today. He's got their full support. It's amazing. Now, you can watch BBN Tonight weeknights at 7:30 right here on your official station for Big Blue Nation, LEX18, the LEX18 app, or at bbntonight.com. And check your local listings across the UK Sports Network 4 times there. And, you know, again, the amazing crowd here today. I mean, he is going to be floored when he comes out to this.
We cannot emphasize enough how loud it is in here. And if you feel like we're screaming at you, we're sorry. But we're just trying to talk over the noise. And the fans that you see, I mean, they're holding a baby up right now on the Jumbotron, a la the Lion King. There's a grown man dressed like the Pope in attendance. There are unbelievable signs, face paint, Wildcat costumes. You got the mascots here, the cheerleaders, the band. Everybody set up to welcome Mark Pope in as the next head coach.
I'm just trying to take a peek over my shoulder because I know there are some current players that are around here. Most walk-ons, I believe. Don't think I see any of the scholarship players, but still, nonetheless, they're here just to throw their support. Some of them already leaving in Brennan, Canada. His time is up here, but he's here to support the next coach.
Yes, we also saw Travis Perry walk into the building, so obviously a future Wildcat, all things considered, is here to see Mark Pope be introduced. We had the chance to walk around, talk with some fans, pass out some of our True Blue fan buttons. So that was fun. If you got one of these in attendance, that's been a lot of fun as well.
Yeah. All right, so let's get you a refresher and get you caught up on Coach Pope and where he's been before he came to Kentucky. The former Wildcat is the 23rd coach in school history, the 8th in the modern era, and he spent the last 5 seasons at BYU, where he went 110 and 52 with the Cougars. That's a 68% winning percentage. Went to the NCAA tournament twice.
Well, before that, he was at Utah Valley for 4 seasons, so 9 total years of head coaching experience. He's been coaching college in some capacity since joining Mark Fox's staff in Georgia in 2009. But of course, we all know he's familiar with Lexington and this program. He played at Kentucky for 2 seasons, 95, 96, helped cut down the Nets that second season in 1996, and then he spent several seasons in the NBA, and he's going to be welcomed with a very warm welcome from Big Blue Nation.
Of course, to get here, he had so many twists and turns, as a lot of people do with their careers, but not quite like this. I mean, Mark Pope enrolled in medical school at Columbia in 2006, and then 3 years later, well, he decided, you know, I like this and all, but I think I want to coach basketball. So he talked to Rick Pitino, the former Wildcat coach, and said, I'm thinking about doing this. And he said, then you should. And so he joined Mark Fox's staff at the University of Georgia. And then Pope found his first head coaching position at Utah Valley, where he brought the Wolverines to Rupp in 2017 and led the number 4 Wildcats in the second half before falling 73-63. 4 years later, Pope moved to BYU, where he implemented a fast 3-point shooting offense And now he returns to the place where he was the captain on the 1996 National Championship team that produced 9 NBA players, including him. We talked with Athletic Director Mitch Barnhart about having a list of names available for future hires and always being aware of Mark Pope.
You always have, ever since you have your master list, and you have names, and then the list morphs a little bit through the process, and it's fast and it's fluid, and you adjust, and you're dealing with big personalities, and you're both in the coaching landscape and in the agents landscapes. But Mark was on our list for a long time just because he's one of ours, and he's at a Power 5 school, and he's then if you watched his team this year, first year in the Big 12, the things that they accomplished and the things they did, where they played, how they played, remarkable.
Maggie plays a fun brand of basketball. It's going to remind you a little bit of his playing days when he was here with the Wildcats with Coach Pitino. And, they're going to throw up a lot of threes. They make a lot of threes, and as he said, they want to guard the whole floor. They want to make you guard the whole floor. They're going to spread it out, and 1 through 5 is going to have the green light to shoot those threes.
I love to hear that. I know Big Blue Nation does as well. And talk about being reminiscent of his playing days here. We all know that those playing days went pretty well. He has the trophies here in Rupp Arena right now to prove it. They have a whole display of trophies up. Final Four, National Championship, all sorts of accolades that will be sitting out there next to the podium for when he is introduced here in just about 4 minutes. So make sure you're staying with us. We will cover that entire press conference. We'll be able to show all of that to you right here only on your official UK station, LEX 18. Now, of course, Mark Pope is returning to Lexington as just the second former player to take on
Fine, right?
Well, yes, absolutely. And
one of the 5 recent coaches to win a national championship.
Yes. I mean, not a bad precedent to set. Not a bad precedent to set. Okay, we have a fantastic decade ahead of us if he does anything like what Joby Hall did when he was here as a head coach. Of course, Coach Hall was able to do so much for this program and really unite this fan base after one of the sports giants in Adolph Rupp's tenure ended here at UK.
Well, Hall did a tremendous amount to move Kentucky basketball forward into the modern age of basketball and bring Kentucky fans together. And Mitch Barnhart believes Mark Pope can do the same thing.
This is a gentleman who loves Kentucky basketball as much as you do. Yeah, he wants it to be as great as you want it to be. He wants to win championships like you want to win championships. No one's going to work harder at it than he would, because there's an absolute DNA built into him that says this is part of the Commonwealth, and I'm a part of that. And when you sit down and you talk to him, and he says, I got the jersey that I wore at the national championship game, and it has a big C on the corner that says I was captain of the team. And to me, that means an awful lot, because it means he understands what went in it. And so I would ask people to, we've been fractured, not fractured, but bickering about, hey, should coach stay or go, be around or out, and what. We're not good defensively. We're good offensively. We're not doing this. It's time to come together. It's time to be the Big Blue Nation, and we get together and get behind one of ours, and then let's go have some fun again and get after it. So that's my hope. You've got to go to work on rosters, and you got to go work on other things, and we've got 6 months of preparation to learn new offenses and things like that. And, so a lot of work ahead.
All right, Matt. To a sellout. I mean, they're still a little bit on this side, but they're going to be behind everything.
Well, keep in mind, the people that you're seeing behind us, this side was supposed to be closed.
Exactly.
The entire side that we are facing is already
holding off right now, but and on top of that, now we're going to get pushed back a little bit. So this thing's supposed to start at 4:30. It may or may not. Maybe a little further.
A little bit of wiggle room in there, right?
Exactly.
That's the joy of live TV, though. We can stay with you all the way up until then, and then as soon as we see him come out, don't worry, we're getting out of the way.
All right, so we had the chance to talk to Coach Pope And one of the things I told him was, are you going to use all of that dirt that you have on Jeff Shepard being his roommate and everything to try and lock down Reed, bring him back for another year?
That's a question a lot of us have.
Yeah. Well, we did have the chance to talk to Jeff earlier this week, and I asked him about that, and it was funny. He said that, Mark Pope, back when he was at Georgia, Reed was like 6 or 7, and he came over to visit them, and so he said that, he was like the first guy to have that in-home visit with Reed, and he's going to hold on to that. So now he's got a big one to try and get him to stay here.
Absolutely. Listen to this.
Reed's working through some things, and we're working right along with him to try to help him figure out and gather the best information that he can gather. Mark Pope has known Reed Shepard since Reed was a little bitty fella. When Mark was an assistant coach at Georgia, long time ago, and Reed was 6, 7 years old, Pope boasts that he was the first coach to do an in-house visit for Reed at 7 years old, and holds that on his resume.
So Shepard couldn't tell us anything about Reed's future with the Wildcats for certain, but he did tell us he believes Pope will be an excellent fit with UK.
He brings a style of play that I think Kentucky fans are going to love. He likes to play fast. He likes to move the ball. He likes to shoot a lot of three-pointers. He likes a lot of energy, and I think that's how he played. That's how he coaches. It's how he lives. He lives a life of positivity. He lives a life of passion. He lives a life of family, and that resonates with Kentucky people because that's the life that we live.
Well, we just heard BBN erupt, and we're all looking around like, what's going on? What's going on? It's Mark Pope's family. They have just walked out onto the court. Wife, 4 daughters, and guess what? They are all wearing Kentucky jerseys, number 41.
Awesome. It was a great moment. I mean, they came out clapping and everything, and it was really fun to watch. We've got Mitch Barnhart coming out now, so we must be getting a little closer. Again, they were trying to get 5,000 more fans in here. Maybe at this point you can't wait. You got to get this thing going.
You can see there are still fans making their way up to the rafters, all the way up in the upper deck of Rupp Arena. And I don't think everybody knew Big Blue Nation would show out, but I don't think anybody could have anticipated this.
I mean, there were some people curious about this hire, right? When it first came out, wonder no more. Because, I mean, this is a backing by Big Blue Nation. They are fully behind Mark Pope and getting this building process started now.
Every game, they start the game by welcoming fans in. We did the same thing on our show, saying it's the greatest tradition in the history of college basketball. Yeah. Look no farther. This is why.
I mean, did you expect this many?
No. I knew that they would need to open up more seats than what were originally available when we got here.
Yeah.
They had the whole back section behind us curtained off. I was like, I think we're gonna have some more fans, but I mean, it is jam-packed to the rafters. No seats.
Tom Leach is here, and I know he is going to be emceeing this event for us. So I see him moving kind of closer into place. I see Rock Oliver coming out. I'm sure he was a part of the process in the hiring, as well as Mark Hill, Mitch Barnhart, of course. Some of those guys are starting to trickle their way in.
It's been a very fast process.
It definitely has.
It has not taken very long at this point for Big Blue Nation to get on board and be ready to support their head coach. Is the music a hint?
I know. I keep waiting like, exactly. I feel like we're getting closer. We can tell you this too. I'm not going to say what it is, but we know there's going to be a fun entrance for Mark Pope because it's just his personality. And whether he came up with the idea or not, I'm not sure. But I know you're going to enjoy the way he comes in today.
When you have a full Rupp Arena, you have to do something.
Exactly. And you remember in 1996, he came in on a bus. Got off the bus and was celebrating with the fans a 1996 national championship. So he's done it before. I think you're going to see him have fun today as well.
This is unbelievable. We've heard the Go Big Blue chants. Now we're getting the blue and white song. I mean, it really does feel like a game day. There's no other way to describe it but like the biggest game of the season.
it makes you excited because I feel like we're getting close, but I'm just going to say this. It gets you excited for the season, and they don't even start until sometime. He's got to get a team first. We don't even know who the team's going to be, but he's got to go to work through the transfer portal, trying to talk some guys into staying, talking the recruits into staying. But I feel like everybody wishes basketball season started tomorrow.
Oh, this crowd would stay and watch a game if they could right now. Absolutely. Here's what we expect over the next hour or so. Once he comes out, that's technically the pep rally, right? I feel like BBN is going to have a lot of fun with that. We'll hear from the head coach, maybe from athletics director Barnhart, or who knows who might come out. And I think there's a lot of surprises in store for the fans. And then it will actually transition into the press conference, where reporters will have the chance to ask him questions. And I know Big Blue Nation will be on the edge of its seats for that as well. And as soon as everything here wraps up, we'll be back with you back here on the floor, on this set, to break it all down and talk through everything with you guys.
If this were 1997, Mark Pope would be the guy standing here with you, because at one point he was working for LEX 18 and he was helping out the coverage for the NCAA tournament. He went out west, went to San Jose. I've heard, I can't remember it for sure, that he took his shirt off on the ski slopes. I mean, he had a blast sitting alongside Alan Cutler and Sean Woods, as well as many other from LEX 18, and they were helping do the coverage, and that's how much he talks about how much this program means to him. At that point, he had been drafted into the NBA. He didn't necessarily make the team, so he got cut, so he had a little time. What did he do? He came and he covered his favorite team, the University of Kentucky. Now he has his dream job of leading this program.
I will say, if he was up on this desk with us, we would both be doing a little bit of this. We'd have to pan that camera up a little bit for everybody.
We'd have a couple of boxes for you to stand on.
Yes, that's true too. So let's see, 4:37 now.
Here we go.
The lights. Here we go.
And this was the welcome home. It's a one-sentence introduction. The captain is now the coach. Please welcome the new head coach of your Kentucky Wildcats, Mark Pope, and UK Athletics Director Mitch Barnhart.
Truly amazing. Amazing. And thank you for every one of you coming out on a wonderful Sunday afternoon. Thank you so much. There are programs that don't get this kind of crowd for 5 games. You came here for a press conference. That's awesome. That is awesome. A few thank yous and a few comments, so we're going to get the main guy up here. First off, thank you to our president, Dr. Capilouto, our board of trustees, our lettermen who are right over here that got off the bus over here with us, and specifically the teammates of Mark Pope on the 96 team. Congratulations, one of your guys is back. We've got several members of our head coach's staff over here, and we'd like to thank them for coming to support Mark, and that's awesome. We have members of the Rupp family here somewhere. I'm not sure where they are, but we want to, there they are right back here. Congrats, thanks for being here today. And I'd like to thank Mark Hill and Ray Oliver for all their help during this process. It's really good. Real quickly, I'm going to give Mark a jersey. We take these photo ops all the time, right? So we're going to do this little jersey thing. I'll finish my remarks, and then we'll get him up here, all right? So let's do this real quick. There's an old song from the 70s. It's by Jefferson Starship. I date myself. It's called Find Your Way Back. It's time for us to find our way back. To do that, you need a guide. You got it to someone who's been on the journey before and knows the way, the work, the challenges, and eventually the beauty of the destination. That's right. To understand the heart of this special place, and we have such a person today. We have a letterman, check the box. We have a captain, check the box. We have a champion, check the box. We got a guy that understands the professional game. Check the box. We've got a scholar. I have never hired a Rhodes Scholar candidate in my life. Check the box. Most of all, we have an amazing husband, father, and coach. Check 3 boxes. He will guide us back to our heart. Through all the changes in college sports, he understands the DNA that leads us to our destination. He said this place changed the trajectory of his life. We are ready and excited. He is ready to do the same for the very young men in our program, and we're excited for that. Couple more sentences and I'm out, because you didn't come here to hear me. It is with great pleasure we welcome today the Pope family, Leanne, Ella, Avery, Layla, and Shay. Thank you, and Spencer. Welcome. It's our honor that you're here. And while I'm making introductions, I might as well go ahead and introduce the head guy, the new head basketball coach at the University of Kentucky, Mark Pope.
Hey, Mitch, hold on. So guys, we see these introductory press conferences all the time now. Nobody in the world has ever seen anything like this. But I'm about to break tradition. I'm about to break tradition. At every one of these press conferences, the coach comes up and he stands there with the AD and they take a picture with a jersey that they just made that ends up in a closet somewhere. We're not doing that here. Hey, this jersey is in a hallowed place in my home because it's the jersey that I got to wear with my teammates and all of Kentucky Nation in a national championship game in the Meadowlands in New York. And that's not just a jersey that's gonna go in a closet. It's a jersey that has blood, sweat, and tears, and love, and it's all of us together. I'm gonna keep this as short as I can. I talk a lot, but there's one other way where I wanna blow up this press conference. And I'm gonna get crushed for doing this. Every coach in America, at every other job in America, stands up at their press conference and they try and moderate expectations. We don't do that here at Kentucky. When Mitch called me and talked to me about being the head coach here at Kentucky, I understand the assignment. We are here to win banners. That's what we're here. And as we go through this journey, we're here to win banners in Nashville. Because you guys turn out in Nashville like nobody else, and that matters. And we are here, our job here, our assignment is to go win banners in the Final Four, win national championships. That's our job. With those high expectations, inevitably is going to come criticism, but I don't want you guys to worry. Because I'm on a group chat with every single one of my 96 championship teammates, and they will destroy me every time something goes wrong. I want to do a couple thank yous, please. I'd like to thank very much President Capilouto for his leadership. I'm grateful for Mitch Barnhart as I've watched the last 22 years with how he's run this program and how he is as a man. We are so grateful to have him here. He is incredible. I'm grateful to Mark Hill and Ray Oliver for all the work they've done in this process over the last 72 hours. I'm grateful to these players. I'm grateful for the players from '96 and through the generations at Kentucky who have actually made this place what it is. I'm grateful to every single one of you. That's a big reason why I'm back here. And more than anything else, what separates from everybody else, we have great coaches, players, administrators, but what makes us different than everybody else is you all. I'm so grateful for you. Guys, I cannot wait any longer to do this. Will you please join me in a little cats? 1, 2, 3, cats, please. Come on, stand up and let's go. I need your help here. Can we do this, please? 1, 2, 3, C-A-T-S, cats, cats, cats. I love it. Let's go. Again. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Let's go. Let's go. Like Mitch said, I love this place from the depths of my soul. It changed my entire life. And I want to, if you'll indulge me very briefly, I'd like to introduce my family to your family. And I'd like to show you how much we love this place. My daughter, Layla, will you stand up, please? Just wave. This is 100% a true story. When Mitch offered us a job, he gave us a couple hours to consult with his family. We didn't need it. He knew I would walk all the way here to take this job. But as we gathered the girls from all their various places, Layla Pope walks in the door, and I kid you not, her first words were, because she knows the deal, "Tell me who's in the house tonight, UK?" She did exactly that. Exactly that. True story. That evening, Avery, stand up, and Shade, stand up, please. Just say hi. I don't know how they did it or where it came from, but they went down in the basement somewhere in storage, and they both came up with 96 untouchable vintage t-shirts. I have no idea how they are. Ella is my oldest daughter, and she knows me the best in my history, the best. And her only question was, "Dad, when are we going?" Of course it was. Will you stand up and then Leanne, will you stand up and say hi? So if you'll stay with me for a second, if you're a mother and you can imagine all the pressure and stress that comes with life as a mom and all of the things that she has to consider every single day, and we sat around the table and got everybody's reaction, and with all of the burden, with all the grace and courage and elegance that you can imagine, Leanne just kind of looked around across the table and said, "Let's go." You don't need to know this, but I'm going to say it anyway because I can. I'm madly in love with this woman. She makes sense of my whole life. I'm so grateful for her. And you'll quickly find out that she's going to get to know every single one of you and love you like crazy. It's going to be really special, okay? So, Pope family, will you stand up because this is super important. I want you to turn around. And Pope family, I want you to introduce you to our family. All right, should we talk a little bit about coaching? I'm going to tell you some things that are deeply in our DNA as a coach. And what's interesting is where we learned them. So you're going to hear from me every single day, relentless 24/7 work. And those are not fake words, relentless 24/7 work. And I learned that here. I'll never forget, I was here for maybe 2 weeks. And I had transferred in, and I couldn't believe I was at the University of Kentucky. And I'm like, man, they have all Americans. I got to go catch up. So it's 11:30 at night. I'm in the Wildcat Lodge, and I'm like, I got to go get some extra work in while all the other guys are resting and sleeping at 11:30 at night. So I walk across the street to Memorial Coliseum, open up the door, and I hear balls bouncing. I'm like, who's in there? And I walk in there, and it was like 5 guys. It was like JP and Shep and DA and TD in there in a full sweat already. Those guys taught me how to work. I learned about resilience here. And here at Kentucky, resilience is a requirement. It's not an exception, it's a requirement, and I learned that here. I learned here about the passion wins championships. Passion wins championships. And sometimes my 96 guys will remember this story, but we're not going to tell it. Sometimes when you're on the court playing with all the passion, compete with all the passion you can, your insides end up all over the floor. And I learned that from my guys. I learned about gratitude here at Kentucky. I learned so much about gratitude. Entitlement leads to sorrow and depression. And gratitude leads to joy. And I'm going to tell you this. You know what all these players know? That all of our future players are going to learn really quick, okay? Is that they are not doing those jerseys a favor by letting the jerseys clothe them. Our guys will know quickly, and it's hard not to know, it will be one of the great honors of their life to put that jersey on. There's only a select few players in the world that ever get to wear a Kentucky jersey. To wear a Kentucky jersey. It's one of the greatest honors guys can ever have as a basketball player. Let me tell you a story. I played almost a decade in the NBA, and it has been confirmed that I was the worst player to ever wear Jerry West, okay? A unanimous polling, all right? But you know what we did in the locker room, guys? And I played with all-stars and some of the greatest ever played. You know what we did? We didn't talk about the NBA teams we played for. We didn't talk about NBA championships or MVPs. You know what we did? We sat in the locker room and we talked about our college basketball teams. That's a true story. That's a fact. That's what you do. Nobody's going home to their NBA team. They're coming home to here. This is a gift to be here. I believe these players, man, our job as coaches is we get to be shepherds. Sometimes no words are the most powerful words of all. But Shep and I were roommates for a long time, so we get to do that to each other a little bit. But to be a shepherd of these guys, and it is like when you come to Kentucky, it just rips you open. Your insides get exposed. Your whole guts are out there, and then you get to rebuild yourself with your teammates and your staff and become something new and better that changes your life forever. And we get to shepherd guys through that. These players are my job to coach and shepherd, and our job to love. And for every player, I wish that they could come experience something like this. There is nothing better, and you can't get it anywhere else besides Kentucky. There's nowhere else you can get this. There's nowhere else. All right, I'm gonna give you a few specifics about basketball really quick. You know that my team last year made the second most threes in all of college basketball. But at Kentucky, we don't come in second. My team last year had the 4th most assists in the country, and at Kentucky, we share everything. We're going to be absurdly aggressive on offense. We're going to change it up and keep people on their heels on defense. And that's... Wow. I heard a defense wins games out here. And that's our plan. That's what we're going to work for every day, and we have no choice to be successful. Guys, it is the greatest honor that I will ever have in my professional or this family career to be able to come back here and do this with you. The difference between Kentucky and every other program in the country is that this is not my team. It's not even our team. It is our team. I'm looking up at these banners up here. I got championship team 1948, 1949, 1951, 1958, 1978, if you remember. I can't tell you how many times I heard Kyle Macy tell the story about halftime when coach came in and said just 5 words: get the ball to Jack, to Goose. We got the 1996 team. What? And we got these legends. I think I have a couple here, a couple legends from 2012. How much did we love that team? What? And I'm telling you, last thing I have for you, when I look up at those banners, when I look up at the rafters, it looks super crowded. But if I know anything in the world about Mitch Barnhart, he is gonna make more room. Let's go, fill it up, go Cats! Love you, Cats!
Next order of business, facing the members of the media who are here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to ask you to give us your name and your affiliation when the mic comes to you. Here.
Welcome back, Mark. Daryl Bird, I'm editor of the Cat's Paws. Serious question, as the father of 2 girls, growing up with 5 women in the house, how did that make you a better basketball coach?
Good question. Well, the one thing my girls did for me is actually they never listen to anything I say, most importantly. And just know this, as tough as the 96 team is with me on the group chat, when I come home after games, I hear an earful from the Pope girls. They are merciless, so they're awesome. Thank you for being here, baby. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Kent Spencer, WHAS 11. Mark, at Utah Valley, BYU, I'm sure you had a recruiting philosophy. How does that change here, and have you spoke with any members of the current team?
Yeah, so we're talking to all the guys on the current team, all the guys that have been recruited, and just about every single player in the portal right now. And we're going to find... We're gonna find the guys that fit here, the way we play, and the guys that will come here and understand what a gift it is to play here at the University of Kentucky.
Mark, Kyle Tucker with The Athletic. What is your approach to building a staff? What is and not just the assistants next to you, like the big picture approach to building a college basketball staff today?
Yeah, so it's one of the fun things about college basketball. It's so dynamic right now. The portal, NIL, conference realignment has changed everything so quickly. So building a staff now, you're not just looking for the skill sets of on-court development and even just recruiting. You're considering like GM positions that can navigate a roster. You're considering... You're considering NIL positions. Let me say something about NIL. It's more than just cash. NIL is building a future and contributing to a community, and doing that right takes a lot of effort, and I could go into hours and hours of conversation with you on that.
Matt Jones, Kentucky Sports Radio. Are you? Nice to see you, Mark.
Stand up, take a bow. That's impressive.
I'm good. Are you, when it comes to scheduling, like preseason tournaments, home and homes, that kind of stuff, what's your thought on how you make your schedule every year?
All right, so anybody in here down with a game versus St. John's? You know, I neglected, and I'm actually so embarrassed. Somehow I missed my notes. I neglected to pay homage to Coach Rick Pitino. Every coach that has coached here has done amazing things. Everybody's contributed to Big Blue Nation, but Coach Pitino, he changed me. And I'm telling you, like, he changed me to my soul. He changed my DNA as a human being. He allowed me now to be someone that feels like I can walk into any room and take on any impossible task. And I will love him forever. And so I say St. John's just because I have so much admiration for him. He's probably the best that ever did it. And I love him so much. My other question is, and I don't know, Mitch actually might get super mad at me, but since we have this small group gathered together, let's just say sometime in the future, we could find our way into this Maui tournament. Would anybody come? Maybe. We'll see.
Mark, Ben Roberts, Lexington Herald leader. Can you just kind of walk us through the process of Mitch approaching you, your emotions, and then was it really a split second? Did you have to think about it?
Yeah, it was, well, so here's the deal. Like, I've been blessed with some of the most incredible coaching opportunities in the world. So incredible. I have loved deeply the paces I've been able to coach. And since I started coaching, every single person that I know, including my ADs and associate ADs and players, they know that, like, my heart bleeds blue Kentucky. They just know. And Mitch knew that, and so I think that's, maybe he was a little cautious calling me because he knew I was going to say yes before he even finished the question. Saying, hey, Mark, would you be like, yes?
Mark, back here, Michael Epps with Fox 56 here in Lexington. I know you know as well as anybody that winning in March is what matters, despite this being fantastic today. What is your plan to make sure that this March you guys win as a program and get farther in the tournament?
Listen, that's the job, guys. That is the job. Like, we're not ducking it. That is the assignment. We know the assignment. That's what it is, right? And frankly, if you're too cautious or too worried to take on that challenge, don't come to Kentucky because there's nothing else that's acceptable. So somewhere in me, I'm bordering on somewhere between bold and dumb, but I think we can do it, guys. Let's go do it, okay?
Mark, Dick Gabriel, Big Blue Insider. A few years ago when we were talking to you for the documentary we did on your team, you were talking about the free throws you hit in the final seconds against Syracuse. And you told me I knew if I didn't hit those free throws, I could never come back to Kentucky again. Here you are. But how much is being a part of that championship team going to help you recruiting and building a program?
Yeah, so do we have time? Can I tell this story? So guys, we're playing Syracuse in the national championship, right? And there's give or take a minute left. And really the only meaningful play that I made in my I was a bad player. The only meaningful play I made in my entire career, Syracuse pushing the ball down the floor, and I kind of trip and fall into a pass and deflected, and they give me a foul. And so, that's how good I was. So it happened right down there in the Meadowlands, but on that spot on the court. And I started walking from there to the free throw line. I don't know, it's 50 seconds. Someone look it up. There's 50 seconds left. I think we were maybe up 3, maybe up 5 even. And there was only one thought. This is honestly the truth. I wasn't thinking about form or team or celebration or score. I literally was walking, and I promise this is true. The only thought that came into my mind was, if I don't make this, they are going to kill me. And who won't want that? That's why we're here, guys. That's what we do. So That's important.
Back here in the back. Mr. Tony, KY Sports TV. With all the great players that have come through this program from the state of Kentucky, and judging from the crowd reaction to Reed Sheppard's name being mentioned, but what can you say? What can you say about your approach to in-state recruiting and going to get some more guys like him?
Yeah. So, yeah. So, from Richie Farmer. And all the in-state greats that came before him, all the way to Reed Sheppard, most recently last year. And I don't know if he's here right now, but to Travis Perry next year. Travis, are you here? Come on, man, stand up. What are we doing? Well, there's a good chance Travis not going to jump in the portal, guys. But before Richie and after Travis and everybody in between, it's an in-state Kentucky kid. Like these young men that grow up in Kentucky, they bring a spirit to this team that cannot be fabricated, cannot be replaced, and helps us win, and we'll keep recruiting them.
Mark, Dylan Ballard, A Sea of Blue. You know, you have been heralded nationally by people talking about your strategic X's and O's, but college basketball is ever-changing right now. We've talked about the NIL, the portal. Have you and Mitch talked about the possibility of some roles being added to the staff or to the administration for specifically to deal with NLI and portal, just kind of innovating like we've seen some of these other programs do?
Yeah, and it's very much at the forefront of all of our conversations, and it might not be titled that way. It might be responsibility out under former titles, but approaching that way. But clearly that's wildly important. I'm not smart enough to figure all that out, so we're going to get some help in here to do it.
Hey, Mark, Tristan Ferris with Kentucky Insider. You kind of think, sorry, I lost my question.
It's like, you know what? You're looking at me. I'm an extremely handsome guy, man. That's hard. It's distracting. It is distracting.
I got it. But you talked about not wanting to temper expectations. Obviously, Kentucky hasn't made it to the second weekend since 2019, and this is your first year. Just kind of what are your expectations for your first season?
Well, the one thing I know about Kentucky, guys, is I would try and temper expectations, but that ain't happening. Like, you guys are not allowing that. So why try, right? We're trying to go win. Our goal is to win every single game we play. That's what we're shooting for. We're trying to go win. And listen, and when we lose a game, if that happens, we're going to pick ourselves up and we're going to reassemble and be resilient and be relentless, and we're going to go try and win the next one. That's what we do here at Kentucky. That's like the DNA. Like, you know what? If Kentuckians know one thing, they know a hard day's work and getting up the next morning and having another hard day's work. That's what we know here.
Hello, Mark. Mr. Pope, 1996.
Oh, my gosh. What? Hey, let's give it up right here. This is my guy. Yes. I'm so happy to see you.
1996, we did an interview and you said, quote, "No way am I going to be a coach." Now that you're at the program with the greatest tradition in the history of basketball, if you're in my house and my son had talent, well, he couldn't because it's me, and he had talent,
and you can speak in sound bites because we did a lot of TV. What would you tell my son and my family in a sound bite as to why they should play for you in the University of Kentucky?
I would say this. I would say there is no doubt that there are great programs all around this country. There are great programs. There's no doubt. And that's true. And it's also true that there is nowhere like the University of Kentucky. There's nowhere. There's nowhere. Listen, you guys are living proof of that. Listen, we had a little call to arms, a little call to help, and you can't even fit all the Kentucky faithful in this building this evening, right? There is nowhere like this, guys. And listen, don't you think that you are not making a difference, because this video is going out to every recruit in America right now.
Kent Taylor from WLKY in Louisville. When you decide that medical school's not for you, how far is this day from your mind? I mean, that you could be the coach at the University of Kentucky, and I don't know if you have it in your repertoire, but are you going to throw away your shot?
Hey, you guys don't want that right now.
We do.
We'll see. Maybe we'll save that for a little Midnight Madness action. We'll see. This is what I'll tell you about medical school, guys. So first, you are welcome, because when I dropped out of medical school, the survival rate of patients went way up. And I don't know, in terms of being the head coach of Kentucky, because I love this place so much, it's almost incomprehensible, actually, to me, even this day. So I'm super grateful. I'm really grateful for that.
Mark, Aaron Gershon with the Cat's Paws. With the offense you run, you touched on it a little bit in the open there, but how similar? We've heard there's some similarities.
Hold on one sec. So we just said Cat's Paws. I don't know where Oscar Combs is. Is he here somewhere? Is Oscar here? He's not. Well, just please extend my love to him. I love him. I think he's a great Kentuckian, man. He's a great.
But we've heard some of the similarities to it from when you were playing here. Just what wrinkles have you added over the years? The offensive scheme?
Oh, yes. Well, I'm never going to be as smart as Coach P. I don't know if I'll ever be as fortunate to have those guys on the court. Those guys are incredible. But certainly we're taking a lot from Coach P's DNA, and it's actually we're growing into it. You know, Coach P, I think, sometimes looks at us and says, "You copycat, man. Stop taking my stuff." But hopefully, you know, if I could take anything from Coach P, it would be the every second desperate, relentless fight on the court that he inspired of us. I'll tell you a quick story. I hope this is okay. Can I tell a story? Deb sometimes like, man, you gotta stop. Okay, so we're playing here, our bench, unless I'm backwards, I can't remember which side our bench was on. And we're playing Athletes in Action. Somebody will verify the numbers on this because you guys are checking everything now. But I don't know if our guys remember this, but the score was like 28-4 to start the game. We're just crushing Athletes in Action. And coach calls a timeout because they go on a 4-0 run. So now it's 28-8, give or take. And coach is losing his mind. Like, he is killing us. And so we're sitting on the bench. I'm sitting by Walter McCarty, his coach is laying into us for this 4-0 run. You know, it's 28-8. And I'll never forget, you guys know and love Walt. Walt stands up. We walk off. The last thing coach says is, "You guys are going to pay for this tomorrow." That was the last thing he said. Walt stands up white as a ghost. His eyes tearing up. And he looks at me, and his voice is warm. He's like, "We got to fix this. We got to fix this."
And so we're going to find our own way to fabricate that type of work and energy, because that's what Kentucky deserves. And if we don't do it, then we don't belong here. And that's the job, guys. That's the assignment.
Tyler Russell with Kentucky Colonel. Coach, once the dust settles and it's time to go to work and building your team, what's the very first step that you're going to take to do that?
Well, first of all, hopefully the dust never settles in Kentucky. It doesn't do that, but right now we're really focused on our current players and the recruits coming in, and it's mostly just figuring out, meeting with those guys and figuring out if they're a right fit for us right now and how that fits. So it's clearly there, and it's clearly the portal, and it's trying to find the guys that fit here. And those guys that fit here are sometimes going to be one and done burger boys for sure. And sometimes those guys are going to be guys that come here and play 4 years and grow in your hearts and minds and become Kentucky legends and everything in between. That's what Kentucky deserves.
Hey, I'm Kennedy Whitney with UK Student News. And older Kentucky fans know who you are, or at least are aware that you were the captain of the 1996 National Championship team.
Really old former Kentucky.
Well, yes. Arguably one of the best teams in college basketball. And there's a lot of younger generations here. If you can reintroduce yourself, what would you say? Who can you say Mark Pope is?
I would just say that I'm someone that loves Kentucky from the depths of my soul. I'm someone that loves this game from the depths of my soul. I'm someone that loves my family from the depths of my soul. And I'm someone that's a believer and loves God from the depths of my soul. That's who I am.
Chris Beesmore with ABC 36 News. How will you continue the greatest tradition in college basketball?
We're going to work. We're going to work. That's what we do. That is our answer. We're going to work. We're going to work hard and smart and together, and we're going to go figure it out. Thank you for the question.
Mark, C.L. Brown with the Louisville Courier-Journal. You mentioned making sure the kids here know about what it means to put that jersey on. How do you approach that with a generation that kind of seems like they don't remember a whole lot from the past and necessarily intake history?
You know what? That's a real challenge for every young person right now. The young people today are facing incredible challenges, guys. Social media has changed our life. It's changed our value system. It's changed how we operate and think. It's one of many things that have changed us. So there's no easy answer to that. There's not. But I'm telling you, like, we got distracted when I talked about being a shepherd. But one of the most important things that we can teach this generation as they pursue greatness is gratitude. Gratitude is everything to me. And furthermore, if you want to become a great player, you're going to learn gratitude. It's going to speed your process to becoming great. And so we don't have a magic pill on that. We're going to work on that and preach that and teach that and exemplify that, just like all you great people in the state of Kentucky do every single day.
Hey, Mark, straight away in the back right here. Tyler Griever from WDRB Louisville. You talked about Coach Pitino, how much you've taken from him. Have you been able to speak to him at all since you started to feel like you were going to take this job, and what did he tell you?
Well, I still have some PTSD. I get really nervous when I talk to Coach. But Coach has been such a gracious, incredible mentor, and I love him to death, and he is someone that on the right occasions at the right time, I will lean on him for some counsel, because he just is. He just worked wonders in my life.
Coach, when you're on the bus and you pull into Rupp Arena and you see it's like a game day crowd in here in the middle of April, what's some of the thoughts that's going through your mind?
I don't know how to say that. I just don't know. I can say this: BBN rallies, man. BBN rallies in a big way. And, you know, super special to me. I'm not going to lie. So we drag as many former players onto the bus as we get, and just equally as special to me as all of us walking in here and enjoying this evening with you was walking on the bus and getting to dap up all these guys that we've battled with and celebrated with, and the guys that built this place, these legendary cats, was super special to me.
Hey, Coach, this is Mario with Kentucky Sports Radio. I want to ask you, what are you most excited about for next season?
I'm most excited about winning. Let's go win. Let's go win. We got to go win. Let's go win.
Trace Terrell with Cast Coverage. What's your pitch to the players who've been here the last 14, 15 years to come back and still support this program?
Well, I don't think it's hard because we all got to experience this, right? I don't know how to say this, but part of what's different about Kentucky is there's a really fantastic, strong young man, older man somewhere up here in the stands, right? And his heart is in Kentucky. And my heart is in Kentucky exactly the same way. And these guys' heart is in Kentucky exactly the same way. And it makes us different. This is just different. I feel like I've been everywhere. And there's nowhere that shares this all together like we do here in Kentucky. So I didn't have to do anything. These guys care about this place. They love this place. Okay, last two questions because Shay is getting bored. So we gotta hurry.
Mark Oscar with all Hayward Media and Radio Lex. Welcome back. You mentioned that you'll be leaning on Coach Pitino on occasion. What about your former players? Would they be allowed to attend your practices and you would lean on them for some advice and knowledge?
All right, I'm going to get in big trouble here. So I got a huge warning. I don't know the answer. In the past, at previous institutions, I've just had open practices for everybody every day. That could really be problematic here, I think. But listen, this is not my team. This is our team. This is those guys' team and your team and everyone in the back's team. And so, we're all doing this together, and that's the basic principle we're working off of.
Maggie Davis, BBN Tonight. Coach, you talk about this being our team. You walked into your office today. Kentucky shared a video of that. Yeah, it's pretty nice, thanks.
Okay.
UK Athletics shared a video of you walking into your office today. Was that a moment that it started to really sink in? This is your office. This is your program.
Yeah, I think every single second has been a moment. It's just because my heart is here. Like, it just is awesome. Tonight at some point we're going to go home and jump on the phone and start recruiting, and like every recruiting call is going to be like an incredible moment because, you know, kids are answering a little bit different when I talk about Kentucky. Hey, listen. Hey, we got a long road, and it's going to be epic, and I love every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Let's go, Cats. Let's go, Cats.
If you're doing media, please come to the podium. Tomorrow night on the UK Radio Network, it'll be the first edition of the Coach Mark Pope Radio Show. from 7 to 8. Coach Kenny Brooks from 6 to 7. So you guys can ask questions tomorrow night on the UK Radio Network. Thank you for turning out today. Drive safely.
I know